All right. So uh, let me just introduce and just you can say whatever you can or as much as you can because I know some people again. I know even with them listening to this, they're saying, "Man, how about you tell us why if you were the manager with him every day, why couldn't you have prevented this from happening? And also, what happened? Obviously,
All right. So what happened that night? Unlike what everybody think, it was all spontaneous events. Um, it's sad to say, but Vaughn at that time wasn't at the right place. I wasn't at the right state in his mind. You know, you guys could take it how you want to take it from there, but he wasn't in the right state of his mind. So when he had a album release party, once we left the album release party, from there it was complete confusion. The Vaughn travels with 3 to 4 security, armed security, because he's
he
a
has security.
of course he has security. He can't carry a weapon. Oh, he gotta have security. He travel with three. This is a superstar. You think we're not gonna make him travel with security? He traveled with
That's
three.
what one of the big questions is like. Wait, was he just moving with street guys? Why didn't he
Oh,
have security?
man, Vaughn had three. I travel with one security that moves with Vaughn, and he traveled with 2 more securities. You know what I'm saying? Vaughn traveled in a bulletproof truck. So all this extra speculations about security and not doing a job, and not only that, his guys are security, man. He travels with 10 to 15 guys daily, and they protect and love Vaughn more than any security would. Matter of fact, I will put Vaughn's life in his guys' hands before I put on security. That's how close they is. Those guys will lay their life on. Matter of fact, I won't even say would lay. They did. 2 died of the
Yeah.
situation, and those 2 is not the only ones like that. All his guys is like that. But you guys don't know what happened, bro. So just I'm gonna go on a quick description of what happened that night, so y'all could really know what happened. We left Opium, which was his album release party. We're like, I think we're about 8, 10 cars deep, 20, 25 on Entourage. Everybody mind leaving the club is that we're going to the hotel and the Airbnb because that's normal routine.
Yeah.
We the club he went to, the after hours wasn't getting paid for. I didn't have no acknowledgement of his team. Didn't have no acknowledgement of. That was a complete Vaughn decision, and he had the right to make those decisions. He
Wait,
could go,
hold on. So the y'all left Opium and went to a different club.
which we didn't even know was going to act.
Okay, so the club that's in that security footage is that's not Opium.
That's not Opium.
Oh, okay,
That,
okay,
that's an after hour spot that we didn't even have no acknowledgement that we was going to.
okay.
So so really everybody jumped in the car. I drove to the club with Vaughn in the Hellcat. So going out the club, he jumped into the bulletproof truck, and it was him and maybe 2 or 3 more individuals in the
Yeah.
drive. So everybody else that was with us driving to the Airbnb or
Mm.
to the hotel, and Vaughn literally went to the venue by himself. We got a call later from people in the car like, hey bro, we here by, matter of fact, I think from his DJ was like, hey bro, we here by ourselves, like where you guys at? And everybody rerouted to that venue. So already confusions were already started, because normally if we got an after party or we got anything we're going to, we know as a team, everybody know to be on point. You know what I'm saying? We're traveling with a real deal gangster, a real stepper, so everybody gonna know how to move. But from that night, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's God timing. I don't know what it was, but Vaughn completely went on his own course that night.
So he didn't call no one saying, "Hey, yo, we going here." Maybe the message didn't get relayed.
No, he literally told his driver he's going to an after hour spot, and then we all caught up with him later.
Okay, so by the time you guys get there,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on?
By the time we get there, he was still in the car. It was
So
him
he
and
didn't he didn't go in the club yet, or
no,
the spot. He didn't go to the spot.
remember he was in a bulletproof truck,
Okay,
so it wasn't no concern. He was at the venue before, so we got there. When we got there, everybody jumped out the car, and we're like, okay, cool. We're thinking we're about to go in, and for some, like I said, this is, I can't make this up. For some reason, Vaughn wasn't himself. I'm not gonna lie. This is somebody who's more on point than security at. This somebody if I'm on the road with, I'm with him, like, cause he know how to move. know how to pick spots. Like, yo, this man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life as far as knowing how to conduct himself properly. But for some reason that night, it was off. Like, he stayed in the car for like 30, 35 minutes, and everybody outside is cold and it's shivering. Like, everybody outside wondering, like, what's going on? What's going on? So people starting to go back in the cars, like all the entourage, everybody was with, they went back in the car. So I went to the car he was in. I was like, yo, Von, went inside the passenger seat. I'm like, yo, Von, bro, what's going on? Like, you know, everybody here waiting, let's go. He was like, all right, let's go. So at that time, this is where the security come in at. At that time, we're telling security, hey, it's time to go in now. Von's ready. You know what I'm saying? We've been here too long. Let's go inside the club. So they do their rounds. They go inside the club. They check the venue, go inside, check the outside, make sure there's no threat. Now, common sense, if you guys know, security, nobody cannot go inside a club with a weapon. No matter who you is, you cannot enter a building with a weapon, especially a venue. So being alert that we're going into the club, all security put their weapon inside their cars because we're thinking we're going inside the club. Now, right before we go inside the club, one of his homeboys came to the driver's side and they said, hey, we seen so-and-so. I'm not gonna say no names. We seen so-and-so in the car. And instantly—
In the car or in the spot?
No, we seen, he literally, our car is right here.
Yeah.
And so-and-so put up right there. So you had Von car, which is one car before, you had another car, which is our car right here, and you had other people parked, scattered everywhere else. And one of Von homeboys came to him and was like, hey, we seen so-and-so in the car, he's asleep. And he jumped up. I'm talking about like—
Wait, so the other dude was sleeping? Or like, or just like, just not aware type shit?
The other artist was sleeping, unaware. He just put up to the club. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give nobody no name.
Yeah.
Whatever. He put up to the club, and I believe it was just him and his driver. That's what supposedly what it was. Him and his driver, and a McLaren or some type of car they had. So one of the guys spotted him, and they came to the car where me, Von, BJ, and a female, and one more person was in the car. And he came to the car and said, hey, so-and-so's here. And Von just jumped up like, oh, come on, let's go. And with that reaction being so fast, we're like, hey, hold on, slow down. I'm like, hold on, what we about to do? Hold on, like, we got jewelry on, all type of stuff. Hold on. Bro, from that split second of his friend coming to tell him, Von was out the car. And this is somebody who's normally, like I said, calm, collective, look around all the areas, just fill all the blanks, because he been out here, so he know what to do. For some reason that night he was completely off. He jumped out the car. By the time Von jumped out the car, I don't even think he knew where so-and-so was. He just jumped out the car. He bumped into so-and-so. As soon as he bumped into so-and-so, started brawling. From that 1.5 second of brawling, one of his so-and-so accomplice came through the side of a white car that we didn't even know was with so-and-so. That's how unaware the situation was.
Yeah.
Came out the car from the side, like y'all can see on the camera, and shot Von and me 4 times. I think he let 4 or 5 shots off. Von got hit 3 or 4 times. I got hit in the leg, started bleeding, went for cover. He was down.
Are you on that security footage too? Like,
yes.
Okay.
I'm the one that's moving as the altercation happening. I'm the one that's right by him, moving back. When the guy came and shot him, I was the one that was right by him. That's when the bullet hit me. So it was God grace that I didn't get shot nowhere else but my leg.
So like in helping, because I think people are looking at the social media, and but you're talking about, like, people that weren't there speculating. Some people online saying, yo, what happened is all the guys left them. They just left them out there. Like Von's last words were like, yo, listen, yo, y'all let him get up on me like this, that type of stuff.
I'm gonna clarify all that. That's false. First of all, the only people that knew what was about to happen. And you got to remember, when I say knew what was about to happen. I'm not talking about 5-10 minutes resonating what's going on. I'm talking about 1.5 seconds of his homeboy coming to the car where it's me in the passenger side, one more person in the driver's side, I believe was his DJ, him in the back with a female, and one more of the guys sitting by the side that I just called in previously to come smoke because it was cold outside. I'm like, yo, come in, let's smoke right quick because I don't think you're ready to go in. So from that 1.5 second jumped out, that situation happened. Security didn't know what was going on. Half of the guys that y'all blaming didn't know what's going on. By the time everybody realized what's going, if you peep at the footage, Von and his one security is the only one that's by Quando physically. Everybody else is in the back. Why do you think it's a back trailing? Nobody even got a check. They're running to the scene. By the time they're running to the scene, shots fired. And then not only, bro, nobody was running from the shooter that shot Von. Because y'all could clearly see that once he shot Von, everybody moved back. People were still there. It's the police that started shooting uncontrollably.
It looked like that person got shot too. So this was also confusing, right? So when Von is shot, like, and he's whatever, people are saying that whoever was trying to take his chain off or something, because it looked like he was being held up a bit, and then somebody punched that person.
Von was shielding himself with so-and-so. He literally was holding him up. That's how strong he was. Even while being shot, he know what's going on. He felt it because he was conscious the whole time. So he's holding the individual as a shield. It wasn't nothing as like, he got on top of him, no, he was literally holding him as a shield. And those shots that was fired by the individual that shot Von and myself was the only shots fired from those individuals. Every other shot was coming from authorities. They started shooting everywhere. It was like a blanket full of shots going on. So when you see everybody taking cover, they wasn't taking cover away from the shooter from Von. They were taking cover because they didn't know where the shots was going from. If you look, people was running left, people was running right, people was running to the club door because we didn't know where shots was coming from. Right? You got the police shooting anybody with a weapon that they got killed. If you got a weapon that they on you, you got shot. That's how much shots was getting rained. So you guys are looking from the one angle of the camera and looking like, oh damn, they ran away from the shot. And wasn't nobody running away from no. Listen, bro, we didn't know where all the shots was coming from. So it's automatic. If you don't know where the shots coming from, you're gonna regress to see the situation. And the same guys that you guys are talking about, they came right back to Von's side. And if you could tell in the footage, after the shooter that shot Von got shot from the back, which people thinking it came from somewhere else, it came from the back. He got shot from the back. If you look at the footage, he tried to walk back to the car and he got shot and he tumbled back. He still had his weapon in his hand. So while they progressing to Von, he's swinging the weapon like this. People was regressing back, but everybody was still alert to go get Von because clearly it took 4 or 5 people to bring Von into the car to bring him to the hospital.
Is there any truth to any of the rumors that the person who was still like entangled with Von after he got shot was, even though they might have been scuffling before, he was trying to help Von?
He was screaming, yo, he shot, Von shot. I'm not too sure how much he tried to help, but I do know he was screaming, he shot. Could have been from a panic stage, could have been from instinct, not sure. He was just screaming that he shot.
Okay, so when we talking about some of these narratives that's going on now, Asian Doll is on Twitter, and I don't, however she's getting this information, she's saying what Von's last words is. She's saying how the dudes like just left him for dead, how he didn't really have anyone real around him. Have anyone that was close to the situation or that been there spoke to her? Because it seems like she's hurt a bit, but she's also making it seem like Von was with a bunch of disloyal, jealous dudes who just allowed him to die in the street and get shot down like a dog.
All right. That is completely false. First of all, no disrespect to Asian Doll. and we spoke this morning because I seen some of the tweets and some of the stuff, and I reached out to her. I'm like, hey, bro, I know you mourning and you hurt like everybody else, but you need to slow down because one, you wasn't there. So how can you make assumption and accuse guys of doing this and that? And the last words that she's talking about, and it's in a text message, and I can show you, she's talking to Von through her spiritual advisor from after death.
Wait. So this is what she tweeted. She tweeted, Von's last word was, y'all let them niggas get up on me. Stop crying. Y'all let them get me. As if Von was talking to his homie saying,
hold on, Ak, I'm gonna show you right now. I got it right here. Bro. This is, it's a Asian doll, right?
Yeah.
It's clear.
Yeah.
Her text message clearly.
Yeah.
Oh, I talked to Von on a spiritual level with a spirit reader, and he's letting shit be known. He's talking for sure, and he feel y'all shouldn't let him he feel y'all shouldn't let them get him. Facts. So you talking to the dead now, Asian doll. So Von on the afterlife is telling Asian doll these facts, guys. The same tweet you guys seen, oh, he called, y'all let the guys get me, get all the O-block chains.
Hey, let me ask you,
from the afterlife with a spiritual reader. And I don't know if you've seen the messages. I'm not making it up,
bro. No, I believe it. Hey, was Von and Asian doll like really close right before his death? Because
no, it wasn't. Von didn't have anything to do with Asian doll.
Because she's acting like they were lifelong partners, like they were married, like, you know, like inseparable.
No disrespect to doll. Von moved on, and Von was doing other things. He cared for her because he's a very loyal guy. So of course he wanted the best for her. He brought her to certain shows, but there wasn't that. And that's why I'm so baffled and confused, because she's coming on these platforms and people knowing that they was together and was in a relationship, taking these tweets like it came from Von personally. Asian doll did not speak to Von before he died. Asian doll is telling me that she's talking to Von on the afterlife with a spiritual reader, and Von is telling her this stuff. What type of goofy shit you on, man?
So do you think it's because she's hurt or she's clout chasing?
Is she hurt? We hurt. Be hurt. Take your phone, move the phone out your hand, bro. Stop tweeting goofy shit, because you ain't making no sense at all.
So again, loosely, we don't have to get into specifics. There are also people who say this is like so, like, quote unquote messy, because they're like, maybe one of the reasons why those two groups of people, or those two artists collided and actually had a physical altercation, had to do with things that may include Asian doll just on a jealousy level with other artists. And no,
that's false. Von wouldn't react over no female. He's too much of a gangster for that. It's other stuff that happens in the past, and Von is a real deal stepper, gangster. And
so let me give a little more detail. So this, and also, which obviously would clear, you know, his name too. This has nothing to do with Young Boy doing a song with Asian doll, and Von did a song, or was gonna do a song with Jania. That has nothing to do with this, right?
Von is not no hoe, bro. No,
okay.
Absolutely not. This has to do with Von being the person he is and been, and he don't like all that sneak this social media stuff. And you know, their camp used to be cool, and you know, they exchanged a couple words, and hey, they say, hey, when I catch one of them, I'm gonna treat them like a little boy. No gun violence, nothing. You're just gonna beat the hell out of him, which he did faithfully, beat the shit out of his ass.
Do you think you being a manager, you could have, because there's a video on social media of them being cool, them like, you know, whatever, like being the same Instagram video together or Instagram story. Could you have possibly squashed that? You know,
it wasn't really
got Von to look past it, or at least like got them both on the phone or something like that.
It wasn't. I don't think it was really nothing to squash at. It was just more like Vaughn is just that type of person. Like, hey, bro, he's not gonna go back and forth with you, and he stay out the way, and he expect you to stay out the way. So when you on the other side is doing things, sneaky things, and doing stuff, hey, when he see you, he's standing on what he said, and that's what he said. When he see whoever on that side, he's gonna treat the shit out their ass. He gonna beat them up, and that's what it was. Now, could it been avoided because it wasn't worth his life? 100%. Like I told you when I called you from the hospital, I called it ignorance at its best. That's what it was. Because one, for you to be a superstar, taking care of your family should be the main priority. And that go for any artist, not just for Vaughn, but any artist out there. Once you get to a certain level in your life where you're the provider and you're the alpha male, you have to let certain things go because it's not needed. Because none of those things more important than your kids, than your family, than your future and your life. Because you never know how it could turn out. So it could have been easily voided to just literally let it go and just let so-and-so go in and he do what he do. But I can't speak on the behalf of the next man because that's how he was.
Hey,
and
before the shot was before or the guy brandished the gun or whatever, right? Was it just a fight? Was anybody else like showing weapons? Like this was the only guy who just so they're literally just kind of having a fist fight, whether who's winning or who's not, right? And this guy just pulls out a gun and just starts to shoot.
And just starts shooting. That's people. It's 2020. Like no one fights anymore. Vaughn Mindframe, he's been in jail all his life. If he got a problem with somebody, he's gonna fight. And not saying he won't do other things, and maybe his persona and the things that occurred with him made the other person come out like that, firing. But there's no intent for that incident to go into gunfire. Vaughn was literally trying to fight him, show him a lesson, and move on with his day. And it didn't turn out that way. But it goes to show too, for that incident, and this is for anybody else, you have to be aware of your surroundings. Like, regardless if something's about to go down, you have to know who is who, what's what, like who's with, none of those was made in an analyst. Like, security didn't know what was going on. His guys didn't know what was going on. He literally off instinct and just not in the right state of mind, just jumped out and went to the situation. Like I said, he didn't even know where so-and-so was. Like, that's how unprepared this situation was for everybody that's claiming that, oh, everybody that was with him is so wrong and left. The man himself did not even know where that person was. He bumped into so-and-so, literally bumped into so-and-so and started fighting. And from that 1.5 seconds of fighting, shots was fired. From not even from the outside where any of the guys could have been like, oh shit, jump, bro. It came literally from the backside. The guy we didn't even know the white car was with so-and-so because nobody was alert at. The only person that was alert in that car was myself, his DJ, and one more person, BJ. That was the only person. And by that time they jumped out the car, BJ having common sense, like, yo, hold on, bro. People don't fight no more. Let me go grab this thing just in case something happened. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much he was really the only person that was really, you could say, was armed enough to even situate that. You know what I'm saying? Because by the time I jumped out the car and the DJ jumped out the car, Vaughn was already one step ahead of us. Because we jumped out the car regularly. He leaped out the car and walked straight. That's why you could see from the camera, everybody's trailing him from the back, and I came from the side. By the time I got to the side and they're doing what they're doing, the shooter already came to the same side he was in and shot him and shot myself. And from there, Vaughn was already on the ground. And the police started shooting everything else.
So let me, because at first people thought police actually may have killed Vaughn. Hey, did the police identify themselves like, yo, hey,
oh no,
police, drop all your weapons? Because there's two. You said the other guys who shot Vaughn, right? Mm-hmm. Those were the only shots they fired, but 2 more people died. So I'm guessing maybe some confusion with the people that were with Vaughn, thinking, yo, there's more people that's trying to get us. So they probably I don't like how
Of
does
course, of course, because that's what I'm trying to tell you. Nobody was aware. Like none of the other guys was aware of what was going on. So by the time that Vaughn reacted to the situation, like I said, he jumped out the car. I'm jumping out the car behind him. You got his DJ. You got one more person that went back to the car to prepare himself because he knows certain things like that might happen. It was already too late. That 1.5 second of him jumping out the car, bumping into so and so, the shooter already shot him from his angle, and everybody else coming towards him was getting shot at by the officers. The other two people that died from bullet wounds from the officers. Were they right? I wouldn't know. Were they wrong? I wouldn't know. But I know it was undercovers and wasn't no like it wasn't no shots to wound to drop weapon. It was straight execution style shots. And wrong or right, that's on a judge or whoever to decide. Is not up to me. But I do know that when you guys see everybody ducking for cover, it wasn't ducking for cover for the guy that's shooting Vaughn. Because he, after he shot Vaughn, that was it. Like he got shot right there. He was already wounded. It's shots from everywhere else that everybody was concerned of. Cars was running people over. People was getting shot. Other people was with armed weapons was in danger because police, if you had a weapon on you that day, I believe you would have got shot. That's my honest belief.
You said Vaughn was conscious when he was on the ground, even he was trying to hold like the person to shield himself. Um, when he got to the hospital, was he conscious then? And was there any way how maybe he could have survived this?
When he was in the car, I myself wasn't there, but the gentleman that was in the car with him was panicking, and Vaughn was the one that was like, "Hey, calm down, slow down, chill. I'm gonna be good. Just get me to the hospital." So he was very calm in the situation, which I was told. And honest truth, we all thought that the way he was carrying himself from that incident, from what I was told from the people in the car, that he would have been fine. But looking at the footage, that was a very close range shot and multiple close range shots. So it's God had other plans that night, and it's sad, and unfortunately, we heartbroken as a community and as family and friends that he died that way. But that's something that we can't even explain. I personally, and I know his family and his friends, wish that he survived that.
Was he alive at the hospital? Do you know?
I believe he died during surgery.